To Asgartha.
Wow.
Listen, I'm having fun, okay? Because Kyle is trying very hard. Kyle is the consummate professional here at A Hero's Guide to Asgartha in terms of guests. The rest of us are just monkeys in suits, just trying to act like human beings, apparently. Welcome, everybody. So we have the team from the AlteredTCG.blog. We are here today talking about the
patch.
the
The Skybound Odyssey patch.
That's what it is. Yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. The Skybound Odyssey season patch. So this came out, as of recording, this came out on September 16th, 2025. So 3 days ago as of recording this. And I'm just going to read the overview of this before we get into this. So as a recap of the latest patch, after many months of careful consideration with the last patch, there was a decision to errata a faunus. This errata has breathed new life into the game's diversity. Ease up there, Equinox. All right, don't do that. You were only saying that because Set 4 is coming out. While 3 heroes, Trace, Sigismar, and Kojo, have taken a central place in the meta, this change has also paved the way for others like Fen, Basira, Achadi, Teya, and Nevenka, all of whom we've seen performing well on the leaderboards in recent weeks. We'll get into that later, Kyle, because Kyle has the data. The decision has been well received by the vast majority of the community. Very, very notable that they had to mention the vast majority. So that means at least there's 5% of the community that's like, this was horrible. Our conversations with players, whether they were Afanis players or not, indicate that the errata was appropriate and has been largely accepted. I do agree with that. We understand the disappointment of the players seeing their hero weakened, but we remain convinced that this was a necessary decision for the overall health of the game's environment. Okay, we're going to start with that. Thoughts on the errata first.
I think it's gone down well. Does anyone
agree?
Disagree?
No, I don't.
I think it's been great so far. I would say that it actually makes him more interesting as a hero, personally.
He's fractured, he's broken. Is that what you mean?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. No, I think I think it makes him more interesting as a hero, and I do think it really does diversify his playstyle versus the others as well, too. Well, not without really changing him too much.
Yeah.
Marc's just taking this in first. It's just
yes,
the German, in him. The soak before you speak.
I'm Dutch.
Oh, Dutch. Dang it! But I am so sorry.
Oh my God,
that hurts. Right. You look at that. Shame on me. Shame on me.
Well, I think the patch went really well. We see a lot of, all heroes shine. Actually, all Kyle got stats. We got some beautiful stats, I think. So. Deja also got a little bit of a resurgence, right? So,
yeah, exactly. It opened up a whole bunch of other heroes for sure, and people could play their game style rather than be worried about how they had to play against someone. The one thing that I would say, as a community, we haven't done well is we overreacted the same way that I think we overreacted when Traced. When Traced had the issue with the Bravos, the Haven, the Haven, right?
Yeah.
Where they just completely stopped playing it, and we saw that over 2-3 weeks very quickly. No one was really playing Afanis, and I still believe he is strong. He has the ability of doing well, just not the top like he was before. Not winning so easily.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. It's really interesting because. As a community, I mean, do we want to talk a little bit of stats just right now? Because I can just briefly refer to it.
Yeah, Ben.
With as far as I've been covering the competitive side, and I'm sure you all as well, as you've been doing recaps of the competitive play. A weird thing that I noticed while I was doing the snapshots is that weirdly, yes. Traced, after we got that one really good Traced deck in the world qualifiers, world championship qualifiers, Traced just like spiked up. Everyone played them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But people are assuming because of the timing, in the way that it feels, everyone's like, oh, it's because Afanis dropped out that Traced was able to take over the reins as much. That's just not true. Timeline wise, Traced got his spike well before Afanis got patched, got his errata, and so yeah, there's some correlation between the two, but there's no real reason why Traced hadn't been tried again recently. It just kind of people just hadn't tested it apparently. And
I think with
setup
Grems coming out, the Grems really made people say, "Let's give it a go again." I think.
Yeah. Well, and I think
Exactly.
a similar thing might be happening with a couple of the other heroes, where we keep saying like, well, they're just not viable, and I don't know if that's true or if we just haven't tried. The way that because
thank you.
Yeah.
My God.
Well,
finally somebody who understands me.
You in particular, yes. Well, no, I'm saying
usually you have to for people to understand you. Usually you're paying for that therapist to be there.
That's true. Yeah.
Free therapy coming out.
But I would say that if we look at our first place victories from the last month or so, and we look at the timeline of how different players or different heroes are showing up within the qualifiers, right? It's interesting to me. Traced got a huge bump, but also qualifying were Basira and Fen have both seen success as well. Neither of them have really seen as much of a bump. Almost no one is picking them up comparatively. Whereas Traced basically dominated the not hero distribution, the victories over the last month. Fen and Basira are just like, yeah, okay, people are sure, I'll try a Fen deck. Why not? They seem easy enough. And it really is an interesting thing where I think that the Traced deck looked straightforward enough that people looked at it and were like, oh, I can do this. Whereas Fen and Basira both require a couple steps to kind of be aggressive in the way that you would expect. And and neither of them have seen as much play. And I think that might be the thing. That, like, the more complicated plays are just they're harder to get people interested in them. And I think people are leaving those out to the side. Like, I still think out there, I still believe that there's a subhash deck out there that works. I still believe that there's an Argent deck out there that works.
You know what?
People just aren't playing.
There probably is. If you could errata every other hero to not work. But no.
Listen,
harsh.
But
so
it's interesting.
One thing, just Carl, I don't mean to interrupt here, but one thing with Fen, I actually think Fen is a hero that takes a long time to get right and practice. He is by far, in my mind, the hardest hero to learn and to play. So we saw such a poor representation for a long time in the first 10 weeks of the tournament of this season, and now starting to come up. They've won a world qualifier, but you have to do the slow and steady race to get yourself the reps that you need to play. And they have been rewarded. Nevenka, honestly, for me, Nevenka doing better is purely because of the roll of the dice. It's just chance. I really, while it can be played, you also have the chance, especially for a major tournament. Would you risk it to basically lose your cards by rolling the wrong number? Right. That's.
Let me put it this way, though.
I think that's not really true, because Nevenka is also with cards like the
Martingale?
Wayfarer?
The 033 that can scout in. I forgot the name somehow.
Daedalus.
Guys, help me out. Daedalus, yes. Daedalus.
Yeah.
That card is so insanely strong. And with the
it's amazing
now, with the roll of die uniques, things got into place. Just a little bit off track on the Trace. I think Trace was always a very popular hero. That's why Haven got nerfed, basically, because it was such a great hero for everyone. Such popular that it needs to be done probably.
Look, I think it can, but it's scary now. Just Kyle, you've got Endorvian on the line, who is also joining us in chat. saying that he has been able to hit 340 elo by playing exclusively Subash. So maybe there is a chance. Maybe we have to learn from him a little bit more. And
Share
we
your
do know
deck
there
list,
are players
please.
around the world.
Yeah, no, let me put it this way too. So there are two decks right now that I personally feel like there is a formula that people are just missing. And one of them is Navenka and one of them is Auroch, right? We can all agree till the day we die that Arjun is just plain bad. I think we can agree with that. The same goes.
It's hard. It's hard when you lose card advantage.
But it's the same thing with heroes like Rin, right? Where like the formula seems like it's there, but you just have so few people playing Rin. And the same can be said for Waru, for Gullring, for Navenka, even though, or not Navenka, Akesha, even though Akesha is seeing a rise because of the errata on Afanis.
Yeah.
And I would even say that Lindaway in some ways is more playable. The thing with
Well,
Navenka,
it's because, sorry, with that, Nick, I think a lot of people, Akesha has risen for mostly because people are not playing Afanis anymore.
No,
They wanted to
agreed,
stay
yeah.
within the faction.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
not because they thought it was a better hero to begin with. But I think Akesha's great to play with. I actually love both the other two. Lindaway's amazing to play with. It's just, it's too hard for my brain.
But let me finish the thought on this. Is that Navenka, you can manipulate Navenka in such a way to where you can get consistent dice rolls for what you need. Unless you're like me and you roll 2 nat 1s on a d20, like, you know, there are ways to manipulate your dice rolls.
Sometimes the dice just want you to do a particular thing, Nick.
Right, and that's the point, right? Like
snake eyes all the way, buddy.
Yeah. The other thing is that I have mentioned this multiple times and I will keep mentioning this. There is a formula that we are missing for Auroch, and I want to try and crack it. There is something that we are just missing as a community, that we're missing as a player base, that Auroch is not performing as well as Auroch can. The problem is
the devs
we just haven't figured it
already.
out. Right, yeah, and they've told us that. We just don't know what that formula is because they're not just going to give it to us.
That's true, Mark.
Well,
yeah. I think Moondust won some qualifier, right, or something. I'm not very sure what he won, but
yeah. So he won with basically a resupply deck, but it's not your tradition. Nothing anywhere like what we assumed. So basically, just he had his whole deck in his hand when he won. But he won the BGA. Was it BGA? No, he won. He won the UK. But it was so heavy on uniques, and maybe it is. Maybe this is what we have to look at. But he did a really good job. I think it's fantastic. I was excited to see that win, and I think in Baltimore, according to a guy trying, and he ran that tournament, we had 3rd and 4th also be Auroch. Like, who would have thought, right? Never did we think they'd even top 8 to make it as far as they did.
Not even top 20, 32.
I know. Never thought anyone would even bring one to a qualifier. But all right, so
those are the points that I will make. Is that I really want to try and figure this out.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they do. And let's see what happens. So what was the announcements? What did we get?
Number one, everybody's favorite card. This is everybody's favorite card. Was unsuspended. This card was originally suspended because of Afanis. Afanis just destroying people's sanity and their confidence with largely this card. The ability to just cycle this card as many times as Afanis was using it, I feel like, was just gross. So this card has reached an unsuspension because of the errata that was made to Afanis. This card can no longer be played the way that Afanis was originally playing it. So they feel like this card is now viable because, it does the thing it normally does now. So, yay. I think everybody's happy about that.
I mean...
Yeah, any thoughts on that? Did it make... it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Listen, given that the weakness of Ysmir is supposed to be your characters, whereas the spells are the the strength of the faction, I'm not thrilled about it still only costing 1 from hand in Ysmir. because you're supposed to be scared that you're going to run out of characters in Izmir at all times. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer that it was.
It gets fleeting though. Like
that's true.
Yeah, you'd
that's
prefer
true.
it to 2-2. Okay.
Well, for Afanis, yeah, but for the other two, they can just run this forever still. They can still have
but do they? I've never really seen this be played that much.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm just saying that it's available to them at one cost is what I mean.
Right.
But yeah, that's absolutely true. It doesn't get run very often for the others right now.
Yeah,
right.
Carl, you've got too much hate for the Izmir. You've got too much hate for the Ordis.
No,
come on, where's the love?
My actual hate is for Ordis.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of us are jumping ship, Kyle. Trust me.
Oh, buddy, I am so upset.
So,
I thought my co-host was going to be with me to the end in Ordis. No, jump ship the moment he can.
Listen, I will be with you till the end of this podcast. That is for sure. Whether or not we remain committed to the hive mind that is Ordis, that's another question.
You heard it here.
In terms of Helping Hand, though, I do have a point that I want to make, though. The main reason why I feel like most people were frustrated by this card is because you're getting 4 boosts off of it for 3.
True.
Yeah.
So in terms of just now leveling the playing field, either Afanis still does it for 1 or for 2, and you're getting 2 boosts off of it still, right? Because either you're playing it from hand or you're playing it from reserve. Or you're playing it for 1 additional, and you're still getting 2 boosts off of it with a Keshe and Lind away.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I feel like that is technically a lot more, not balanced per se, but a lot more equitable across all of the heroes in Izmir.
But the problem with this card, with 2 things. One, the recursiveness with the anchored spindle harvesters, and the second one was the mage dancer. And I think giving this fleeting in for Afanas is perfect, because sure, you can have the mage dancer for 1 additional turn. You can draw probably 1 more, and that's okay, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, you're right. And the secondary thing that happened. Yeah, the secondary thing that happened with the unsuspension of the Helping Hand, they also removed the Katagar and Mage Dancer from the watch list, saying, hey, we've been able to fix the finals. We feel that's enough. These cards are no longer going to be an issue. We're going to see. We have to wait and see. I honestly feel that Helping Hand wasn't an issue in the other heroes. I don't think it's going to be an issue in Moyo, the way that we were seeing it being. It's not the boost that was the problem. It was the boost with the Katagar and Mage Dancer, so they drew an extra card. That's the part that I think they could do it with 1 single cost. And there's no card that gives them that functionality right now. As far as I've seen, maybe you guys have seen some cards I haven't. And congrats to all of you for getting a reveal card. Well done. That's exciting.
We're all part of the reveal club.
Yeah.
We're the RC club. That's what we are.
All right. Nick and his acronyms, right? He gives you acronyms for everything.
I think it's just
all
fun.
right. Here's the big announcement. This is the big announcement.
Okay.
Gosh.
Bug fix. Everybody's favorite combo in Traced, unfortunately, was suspended. So here's what they talked about. In the last patch, we shared our concerns about the gameplay experience with the bug fix combo, which, granted, maybe was a little valid. While strategies using the combo haven't dominated the current meta. Yeah, right. We've seen a lot of frustration from players facing decks that exploit this unwanted mechanic, as it often prevents any counterplay. So real quick, let's read bug fix real quick. So first off, 1 hand, 2 from reserve in the common, 1 from hand, 1 from reserve in the common. It has cooldown on both sides. You can spend 1 counter from a card you control or in your reserve to create a brass bug token in target expedition. Now, first off, that is dirt cheap, especially with Traced. Because technically, you lose almost nothing off of playing it with Traced, right?
Yeah.
Because as we've learned, there are 2 cards, I feel like, that can ping off of heroes, right? The first being Bug Fix, where you can ping Trace counters, and the other being Enhanced Prototype, where you can ping Achadi's counters to basically do the thing that Enhanced Prototype wants to do, right? So, given that, the interactions created by this combo led to confusing, uncontrollable, and frustrating board states that are outside of the experience we want to offer. So, with that, bug fix has been suspended. Now, it's funny.
Sorry, Nick, before you do
No,
that,
yeah,
just for
please.
people that don't know what the bug fix combo is, and if you're on this, so if you're listening
I was
or watching,
just about to ask.
Okay. I'll quickly go through. So bug fix, what it does is if you have a unique in play that basically says that whenever you get a robot into your field, you can basically put a card from your reserve back to hand. So when you do that, then it means that you can get a 2/2 robot for every mana that you've got remaining, putting it where you want, really stacking the board.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is the bug fix goes into your reserve. You trigger the ability from your unique card that says, okay, now you've got a robot. You can put that back to hand and then play it again. The problem with Traced is that you could actually just use it to remove a counter from Traced.
Yeah.
And then the moment the card left the field again, left your reserve, so bug fix will go into reserve. You take it from reserve, you gain that counter back. Now, the other thing that people were doing so that they wouldn't reduce the counter in Traced itself is they were playing Keylon Cylinder and taking the counter from the Keylon Cylinder to accelerate their Trace build, right?
Yeah.
So they could get their ticks on Traced really, really quick, and the other reason people were upset is you can't interact with it because the card goes back to hand. You can't remove it unless you remove the unique. You can't do anything with the card because it goes into reserve straight back to hand and there's no cycling. There's nothing you can ever do to get rid of it. So that's the part that got really people upset. And I'll add a little bit more to it is in Barcelona, the winner played this and it was watched by people from Equinox and they're like, no. This is not the game we want to play. Because you just lose the moment theory, especially if they play it and you can basically win both sides 2 days in a row with one single unique and a 1 cost bug fix.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm actually really frustrated by this ruling, but this is my opinion.
Okay, go ahead. This is good.
Yeah, well,
opinions matter.
So 2 things. People keep saying that this is something that you can't interact with, and I just disagree. Like, you can remove the unique, which
yes, you can.
Unlike a lot of similar to the Muna situation where a mass anchoring unique, toss the unique and you scuttle the entire plan. So there's that one. And then there's that way of dealing with it. So that's a fast way. If you have any removal in your hand, go for that. Target that thing as soon as you see it come down. And then the other part of this is, I mean, I really feel like this would be an easy fix if they want to out of this. Just make it so that it doesn't affect hero counters. That's so simple. Yep. I would say because
that was my errata change for it. My recommendation for sure.
The fact of the matter is that like this card makes Sierra one of the things that makes Sierra playable in Whispers altogether. Like, there are a couple good approaches for Sierra, but this one is something that she leans on. As soon as you get a hive out, she needs to be able to make bugs. So like that, it's just I understand that it is frustrating to play against. I agree. I watched that match, by the way, the Barcelona match, and that was terrifying to watch, but also because it was a traced v traced. And so you were able to see someone playing traced straight versus this combo. And so it felt very distinct. Yeah.
Hey, so on that, I agree. It came out so late because Barcelona just happened and they saw it live, so it's reaction saying, "Hey, let's get rid of it." I think this card is going to get errated basically a mid-season patch, like what you're saying. The other thing I could think of it happening is they could just make it have fleeting, and if it has fleeting, it's done.
Ooh, yeah.
Like you do it just once.
Yeah, and somebody in chat who's watching on YouTube said, even easier errata would just be fleeting. Yes. And I think
that's so him and I, Marv Ray, absolutely true. I think you and I are very aligned on this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think a good errata for this, because here's the thing, necessarily affecting the whole cards you control, I don't want to necessarily say that that's Achadi's whole thing, but that is Achadi's whole thing, right? So Granted, Traced, the thing about it though is that Traced can do this very quickly, right?
Yes, that's it.
Getting their counters. It is a lot harder for a Chadi to get his counters. And so discounting his counters is that kind of just eats his butt just a little bit. I don't want to swear, for all the children watching, but it's one of those things.
Yeah.
The other thing too is it says you don't have to remove a counter from it.
Yeah, so that's coming from Yakes in the chat. He says, "What about if you do make it fleeting? Don't let it remove a counter." Sure, there's plenty of things they can go with, but I know you keep bringing up a Achadi, but Achadi's not the issue because bug fix is.
Well, I know,
not
but
in
that's
that
what I'm
faction.
saying.
But I get what you mean. But I think it's for Ordis, which never uses this. So
right.
Maybe, although Ordis could absolutely use it if they wanted to play with Gulrang build, because you get the +1.
It could play in Gulrang. It could. 100%.
I was going to say this is a Gulrang tool. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but you don't have the uniques that say you get a card back from your reserve to your hand.
Exactly.
So that is the mechanism that is problematic, and you can't nerf all the uniques because that will be sad. I also think that the underlying problem with this card and the combination is you don't have that many cards in hand normally, right? So you have 2 or 3 cards, and you cannot keep that one removal card in your hand all times just to make sure that you can counter these kind of interactions. So saying, we got removal so you can interact with the unique. Yes, but if you don't have that one right now in your hand or something, then it's just like a free 2-0 for your opponent, and that's the problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I think we can all agree.
We all saw this coming, Nick. I think no one in their right mind said this was not coming.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that the errata is I think we can all agree on the errata. I think it's going to lose cooldown, and I think it's going to gain fleeting.
I'm fine with that approach, because that still allows heroes like Sierra to still say, I have an extra boost here. I just need one more bug, please. Like that. That's fine. Yeah.
And aren't there cards that say that a spell can lose fleeting?
Not in Axiom. There is one. I think it's in
actually there is now.
I think coming up with set 4 there is.
Undini is.
Yeah, bringing in some more comments from the chat. Endorvian saying he's a little bit sour that this has got Subash on the picture, but he's never used in Subash.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Why would you put Subash in the picture if it's a 2 from reserve? He's never gonna. That's never gonna.
Yeah. Well, they're rare, I guess.
Kyle, do you even play Axiom?
Not well.
There it is. All right, I think we have sufficiently beaten this bug horse. The bug horse.
This dead horse.
What's this brass bug to death? So I think we can go ahead and move on to the biggest announcement that they have made with everybody's favorite card, the unfortunate Moonlight Jellyfish uniques.
Man,
this
hurts hard
They've been
for those
so
that
long.
spend
I don't
so
even
much
know
money.
What the problem is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's true. They have waited a long time.
Yeah.
So this maybe a bit of history on this. This is probably one of the cards early on that was sold at the highest value. So there's a lot of people that spend a lot of money, and I'm not an advocate one way or the other, but they spent a lot of money buying cards because they felt these were really strong for what they got. And they weren't able to use it. When the first errata came out, this was one of the first cards that was suspended, and it has not been released basically for 2.5 sets. So they've tried and tried, but they're basically suspending it. And I'll let you discuss what they're going to do.
Yeah. So I want this to be abundantly clear, is that I don't think Equinox is in the habit of banning cards because of the POD.
The first.
Right. Because of the unique nature of the POD, they can issue erratas. People can get cards that have the new fix on it. They're in a very difficult decision with this, I feel like. So, and maybe that's a good point, but I just don't know. So the unique Moonlight Jellyfish was suspended, kind of like Chili was already talking about. Their effects, which centered on sacrificing cards and interacting with the discard in reserve, turned out to be far more powerful and unpredictable than we anticipated. Its problematic recursivity and excessive synergy with other mechanics created a huge issue. The problem was compounded by the nature of the unique cards themselves. Each jellyfish has several distinct effects that are difficult to evaluate across all possible game situations. And I kind of agree with that. Like, looking at even just a handful of the unique jellyfishes, some of them were just wild to play. So
yeah, some are broken.
yeah,
Returning
100%.
cards and
Yeah.
also resupplying and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is a 1-mana card. What the fuck
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah.
That does so much, and then comes back to hand
Yeah.
because once you have 2, you just keep on bringing them back.
Yeah.
One thing that I'd like us to discuss a little bit here, and it's come in from Yakes on the chat, is he feels that this was really constricting Lindaway's space, and therefore they couldn't find a solution, and then maybe there'll be other cards. But I'll also say it hindered Lindaway because this was an integral card to their style of play.
Yes.
That they have never been able to come back and make Lindaway as playable as this was when it first got issued. Any thoughts on that?
I do have a thought. I think, and maybe as kind of like an apology, I feel like there might be a card coming out soon, whether in set 4 and set 5, because I don't think we have the full. Is the full set completely spoiled now for set 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Set 4 has, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a few hours ago.
It might be possible that Equinox might create a card like Jellyfish that is a lot more suited towards Lindaway, unless they start killing off heroes.
Maybe more kills her off, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I would push toward on that, I would say that it's likely that we won't see that ability on a character again. But I would say that if you want to push toward that, you could potentially put that on a spell. Because the real issue with this is that it caused issues with uniques, where you have spell capabilities that happen when it's sacrificed. The rares, the rare and the common they're out there. They're not gone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So they're still a part of Lindaway's kit. Yeah.
That's true. That is true, Kyle.
Now, this being said, I hate to be this person, but I was kind of one of those people who never touched unique jellyfishes anyway. So I was kind of like on the ban because I was like, this really doesn't affect me. That being said, though, where it kind of does hurt are the people who bought the uniques expecting to be able to play these. So going into if you guys are fine with it, going into the player compensation on these uniques. So with the ban, they're officially introducing the compensation policy for cards affected by our balanced decisions. The policy applies to cards that have received an erratum or have been banned, like Moonlight Jellyfish. We know that losing access to a card can be a tough experience for any player. With this compensation, we hope to open up new gameplay possibilities for affected players by providing new, randomly distributed unique cards that you can use to build your strategies around. Specifically for Moonlight Jellyfish, they want to offer every player who currently owns one or more copies a compensation of one random unique card from the current set for each copy that they own. Additionally, to make up for the long wait between the initial suspension of Moonlight Jellyfish and the rollout policy, they're going to give every affected player an extra Skybound Odyssey unique card. Now, I have a very, 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 very controversial opinion on this.
Oh, Nick, you've got controversial opinions. This is news.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I've been thinking about this a lot, right? Because kind of the issue are the people who spent like hundreds of dollars on these uniques, right? And the fact that Equinox is just saying, well, oops, that kind of, at least that's kind of what it feels like, right?
I can see it.
Well, let me go the other way, Nick.
Yeah.
What other card game, when they suspend a card, give you anything?
That's true.
So I'm going to go down that path.
That's a very good point. You are very, very true.
This is the thing that I keep coming back to as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm like on an emotional level, I'm on the same page where I can understand, like, hey, if I spent some money on it, I get that's frustrating. But the more that I've talked about it with people, the more I've understood that, you know, this really is something that you don't see often from any TCG in terms of any of compensation in this way. And the fact of the matter is you can't use that card in standard play, and at least now they're making it into a card, right? One that can be used, right?
And technically, they're making it into 2 now.
That's true. Just like the jellyfish, the recursion allows it to become a second card.
Yeah, it's constant
It's sacrifice.
Now. Yeah. So I hate to be this person because I don't want to sound greedy. Because again, this does not affect me. I personally don't care, right? But it is it is the whole thing is like we have gone through now. This is going to be set 3 that they're announcing this.
Set 4. So yeah. Yeah,
well, 3
so basically they've gone
right?
through 3 sets. They've been gone through 2 sets since it was errated.
It's been quite a while, yeah.
I feel like I don't want to seem greedy because I don't care because I don't own any of these. I feel like they should also do something like a POD credit. Like rather than like the 2 uniques, being like you can take a POD credit where like, okay, you know, maybe you don't want the cards. Maybe you just like, oh, I was waiting to sell these so that I could, you know, foil my whole deck. Right.
Yeah. Well, so a quick thing on that. We'll get more information on the compensation plan, the policy next week, which I suspect that'll probably be part of it, given what we've seen in the past when issues like this have come up. But then the other part of that being, like you have the like it was a thing to bring up is that this policy will be happening in the future as well. So if you happen to pull a jellyfish, as I just saw actually in one of the other one of my regional servers that I'm in, someone in there pulled a jellyfish from a promo pack this past week, and they're like, well,
oh wow.
You know, like what am I going to do?
Well, you're getting something. You're going to get 2 cards.
Exactly.
You're going to get 2 uniques.
So it's future proofed as well, and I think that's a brilliant idea.
And it is extremely generous as well. Kind of like you're saying,
absolutely.
You know,
but,
Pokemon.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. You know.
Yeah.
The difference is, I will say that it doesn't seem like Altered is a money grab game. So the decisions that they make reflect that.
Yeah.
So what I was going to go is the whole issue that I have with the announcement is not actually centered on this. My main thing is there were some people that knew about the announcement before it went live and started buying up the uniques on the marketplace. My whole thing goes, and then they really are not very clear in terms of at what point in time does ownership count for you to get the uniques? Because there are people that bought it basically so they can get cheap uniques and keep and only spend $5. There are other people that listed it saying, you know what, this is useless. It's never going to give me anything. It probably is going to get banned. No compensation. And maybe they're happy with it getting a few bucks, but they could have gotten more. For those people that spend a whole bunch of money up front, I'll also say this is a TCG. Some cards come and go based on the time. You made the decision, unfortunately, it didn't pay off. And it's awful to hear that way, but especially with someone that doesn't have much money and then they've spent an outlay and not be able to play it for long. Equinox is doing well, but I hope that in future sets or whenever they make an announcement, and they're going to make an announcement on a card, they actually stop the marketplace from getting those cards sold and listed or sold. But I mean, it's usually just a day or two, like before they release, because I don't like it if it's insider trading in one way or another. If someone goes and has more information and makes an economic gain from it. And I don't know the best way of doing it. Or the other thing is Equinox, you really need to do better with your employees and those they share information with, because they're actually breaching confidentiality by doing what they did. Whoever knew about this and started doing it.
The employees.
Yeah,
they also get some feedback from community people, right? So they are asking, well, what should we do with this kind of situation? Do we want to suspend it? Do we need to give a compensation? What kind of compensation would be okay for this sort of thing? And people, well, give some feedback and stuff, and they know, well, maybe the jellyfish get permanently banned.
And Marc, part
So-
of that is though the maybe is not the decision, but once the decision is made, they've got to basically, in my view, is block the marketplace from those cards once the decision is
totally
made, just
agree.
so that there's nothing goes out.
Yeah,
Because someone that
specifically
listed it for
because all
$5
those-
may said,
Sorry.
I'd rather get two uniques. You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah,
Marc.
specifically, you get a $5 card with you. You know that the current uniques like set 4 and 5 are getting the bar up, so they will probably be better uniques than the jellyfish was for you. So you were getting well, not the opportunity now to get 2 better uniques for that one jellyfish that got banned because you sold it without knowing that this kind of compensation was there.
Can you imagine? So Marv brought up a point of like black market uniques. Like that'd be insane if that's what they're saying.
But you know,
that's going to be happening.
But black market. So let's go down this path. So if Equinox was to block those cards from being sold for a day or two when they're making the announcement, or just before they make the announcement, people will try to sell it offline. Equinox doesn't get their cut. But I'm like, that's someone's really, really making a huge effort to make the change. Sure, there's nothing you can do there. But it's whoever. But the problem you have is if someone knew about it and then they're buying them really cheap so they can get the extra, I think that's a little dodgy. Something, at least I don't believe that's right. Hey, not as dodgy as, unfortunately, our player that decided to play the BGA tournament while have his friend play it while he was playing live in session. That in and of itself is also dodgy, but I think that's a bit further. So
yeah.
One thing to 2 points on the compensation thing. I'm sorry, or well, specifically on the marketplace. I think that one of the I think that I don't know if it's in the actual post itself or if it was in the Discord later. The kind of active date of that is the date of the patch. So who is the person who owns the jellyfish as of the date of the patch's effectiveness was what I had seen. But I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I saw that in Discord. However, the other thing, I agree with you. I think rather than lock them down for the day or for like a day or so, the approach I would say would just be to say that, before this is announced, I think that you just knock them all off the marketplace, put them back in people's collections, and then if they want to, they can put it back on. I think that's just one of the easiest ways to do it, because that shows that they're choosing to put it back onto the market, and they can do it that way if they want.
And that can't be that hard to do it from a dev perspective.
Oh,
like
sure.
there's no way that's that's probably like maybe 10 minutes of work, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
again,
they're still learning. We're still
Equinox...
learning. This is the first card.
True.
But I think Equinox Chile didn't expect these kind of things to be happening. They put it out like, well, okay, it's all fairness, and people were like, oh no, €5 for this jellyfish. I buy 10. It's like, okay, they're scalping now the jellyfishes to get those uniques, and maybe a little bit naive, but that's how the world works probably here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
All right. Well, I think everybody's sufficiently stressed now about that. So I think we're just going to move on to Will o' the Wisp.
Sorry, before that,
maybe
are we happy? Are we happy? Are we happy with what they're giving you?
I am.
I
think I think I was a little bit stressed at first before I really thought through the process of it, but looking at this, I think, this is a great choice.
Yeah, I'm going to get 8 uniques for nothing. Heck, and if anyone out there doesn't want to keep their jellyfish after you've gotten your 2 uniques, please give them to me. I can build that wall at the back to have every jellyfish possible. I'm happy to take them off anybody's hand if they really don't want to, because they're still going to stay in your digital.
Yeah.
It just means they're never going to be playable.
Yeah.
Chile,
but I'll also go down. Go ahead.
Just want to say about the thing. Equinox is listening to the feedback, so probably this won't happen again. So
yeah.
Chile,
I'm fine with it.
Use this I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was just saying I'm fine with it. Like again, I don't have a dog in the. I don't have a horse in the race. So I don't have a jellyfish in limbo. So for me, it doesn't really matter. But I do appreciate that they're at least doing this.
Chile, you can go ahead. Like you can use these uniques. You can collect all of the cards that are not used anymore, and let us know when you build a full jellyfish unique cube, and then we'll all play that.
That would be funny.
You know what?
Oh my gosh,
that game would last hours.
That would be so funny.
But the thing with it is you don't have anything that sacrifices if it's
Yeah.
full.
That's
So
true.
That's
you're
true.
basically going to be
Yeah.
playing the cards with no ability of sacrificing it. So just a 1/1.
Everybody's gonna get a Lindaway. Everybody's gonna get unique jellyfish.
Yeah.
There's just you're gonna be playing Lindaway with Axiom jellyfish. That's what it's gonna turn out to be.
Perfect.
All right, cool. There was one errata that was put onto this. Now, unfortunately, I do have to go take care of something really quickly. So everybody, you're going to see me disappear into the ether for a few minutes while these three lovely and totally not biased humans talk about the Will-o'-the-Wisp errata in Lyra. So you guys have
Marc,
fun with that. I'll be right back.
You want to take us through what the errata is for Will-o'-the-Wisp and why?
Yeah, sure. So the current text is like, if an expedition facing me in water, it can't move forward except due to water. And that's a big problem with one of the new cards because, well, they say like one of your expeditions goes back, one expedition, and the other one is going forward. But if that one has a Will-o'-the-Wisp in it, it cannot go forward because it can only go forward except due to water. So there is now a change that if an expedition facing me is in water, it can't move forward during dusk. So one of the new cards can, well, don't interact with this, like sending only one card back. I think,
I think this is good.
The Western Wind, is it called? Something
the
like
Western
that?
Wind.
It's like a 1 or 2 mana card. It's okay, I think, for the hero decks.
Yeah, it's so cheap to play. It's basically an after you but it has to be your own expedition, right? So whoever's it is, it's the same one. They move one. It
can be your
both.
opponents too.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's your opponent, both move from your opponent. It's not like one for you and one for them. So it's basically moving them forward or backward on the track. But if you had Will-o'-the-Wisp and you chose yourself, you can basically, or they had they were facing your Will-o'-the-Wisp, then they would move back but not forward. So they'd lose a track for 1 cost.
Yeah.
This does not affect the current gameplay. I actually think if we're going to be using these erratas, it's stuff like this really for the next set. Really, hey, this is something we're changing for the next set, but not impacting us today or the way that we've played. So people won't know any different with the new set. I think it's really, really smartly how they've done it.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think this is a really clever, just a small rewording that fixes the common and rare versions of it, so that it allows for the way that it is meant to be played. I want to. This is interesting because I'm looking in the comments from Yikes. I'm noticing that they're saying that Hostage Navenka being dead on arrival here for this. I disagree fully. Lyra, this set is going to be. I mean, yeah, sure. Nadir is 100% going to be placing those mono regions, but why would you not slot Western Wind in there somewhere so that as soon as your opponent moves off of the thing that mono region that they finally broke through, like actually you're going back there. This is a great choice. It's a great card for Lyra, just generally. It doesn't matter who the hero is.
Yeah, and just a little bit of background. So Nick and I just did another video that's going to release shortly with a guy trying, and he said him and a guy trying believe Nadir is going to be incredibly strong next season. I'm not sure if it is, but things like this, the mechanism to really manipulate the terrain is going to be really fun, regardless of whether it's meta reliable. Really fun to do, mess with your opponent in a way we've not been able to do in the past. The other thing though is if that's the style of play you want to play under the old Will-o'-the-Wisp interpretation, you still can use your uniques.
Absolutely.
Right? You can absolutely use if that's what you want, your hostage style of play, you can still do it. It does mean you're using your unique slots for those, so you have to think a little bit differently. But it's not completely out of the question that you can do it.
Yeah.
And we'll wait for Nick to come back.
Nadir is going to be insanely strong.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's also a high skilled level, I think. I'm not so sure that if you're a new player, you think I'm going to play Nadir, that it's very easy. Better go to Sigismar.
So on that one,
don't go to Sigismar. It will be broken next set. So
we are always behaving. So Marc, what am I missing? What am I missing with Nadir? Because I think it can be good, but I'm not getting the it's going to be amazing, like you are. I'm thinking the deck. Sorry, not
for me,
Soul.
it's like
it's the Axiom hero. I think is going to be strong.
That's also going to be strong. Yeah. But the thing with Nadir is like Lyra got a lot of cards with like the Navigator. It's a 2 mana for a 4 cost in water. If you can make sure that you are always in water, you progress twice. With things like the Western Wind, you can set back your own expedition back to that water spot, put your Navigator in again for 2 mana, and you're already there 4 stats. And that's why I think that idea is going to be so strong, because you always got full control.
Thank you. See, Nick, why weren't you able to explain it like that before? Marc did it so eloquently. You and a guy trying could not convince me. So
look, let me put it this
Marc.
way: there are people in this world who spend all of their time deck building. I am not one of those people. Marc, are you one of those people who spends like 90% of their time writing and then the other 10%
maybe. I already got some decks for my battle against Chile. I finished my Soul deck and my Isuri deck already. So
hold on. How could you have finished it when they were just released an hour or so ago? So
I keep them on track for the block.
The call is coming from inside the building.
Yeah, and just one thing here, really funny comment from TCH Zerid. So a guy trying has got a new nickname. It's a guy lying. Love it.
Very good.
So are we happy with the errata?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. On Nadir, the thing that I keep coming back to for him is that it's not that you know how Altered you're technically playing two games at once. You're playing a card game and then a board game.
Yeah.
Nadir is just playing the board game. He doesn't really care about the card game often. That's how it feels to me. What I'm seeing.
Yeah.
He's over here like, what are you doing? Like this is the game in front of us. This is the way you win. Why are you caring about this?
Maybe it's like they're playing it because he's a child now. We have a child hero. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna pick one. Screw the other one.
It fits the lore because he's seeing the world in a way that's different to everyone else. He's like, actually, this board game is the thing that I care about. Why would I care about these cards?
Okay.
No, I could be convinced. I think
let me put it this way. Everybody who's listening right now, if you're not aware of all this stuff, this is your fault. I'm gonna make a really good point, and then I have to leave again. Nadir is a child of the tumult, like Rin. So you're seeing adult child of the tumult and child of the tumult, and you're seeing it play like that. So have fun with that.
Just I don't know. Nick's got some issues right now.
I've got so much stuff happening. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Hopefully, the other thing that's funny is Gab Kenny. Good to hear you on the line here. He's finished his Soul deck 2 years ago. I rushed that much. Boom. We're getting all these jokes in for the new set. Love it. Now, so a couple of other things that have happened. So let's quickly go through as we recap before we close up. So hopefully Nick comes back so we can turn off the session when we're done. Is Baba Yaga, no changes to that. I honestly think I wish they had done something. Increase the cost was what I had asked last time. I think some of you guys have said reduce the stats was the other alternative.
Yeah. I think they're planning on doing nothing. Because if you look at Baba Yaga, the cards specifically only for Sigismar, it's a problem. I think for Boru, it's a great card. For Gorang, it might be a great card. We see a lot of tools now, specifically in Izmir, but also in Muna that target one cost things and tokens. So I think they are hoping like if we suspend it for one more patch, then we see the meta shift away from Sigismar. Maybe we don't have to do anything for this card, and we can give it back. That's what I'm hoping.
It's not a bad read.
Yeah, not bad at all. All right, just as we move on to the third part of our discussion, our third part was what was missing in this announcement that you felt was coming or you feel should at least be addressed via the watch list or something else. Kyle, you've been a little quiet for the last few minutes, which is not really your ammo. You're usually quite in there, so you've just been listening to Marc, huh?
Gosh, it's just that license withdrawal. How?
Yeah,
How did that not even make the watch list?
So do you think then it's based on new cards that are coming out that can kind of balance it out a little bit? There is a new card today that basically, is it anchors something? What was that you sent through to us, Marc?
Oh, yeah.
Kaori's
For
Intervention?
the rare is 3 costs and above. Kaori's Intervention, yeah. 3 costs and above has a tough of 5. But then also
That's ridiculous.
But that's a rare slot too. So you're giving up a rare slot for that. The standard is a 4 cost and above when it's only in Muna, which Muna never 4 costs. Who plays 4 costs in Muna? You know. But there's so that's a rare slot but that's only there. But Bravos gets the other version of it, which would help prevent a little bit of damage from the license draw. But again, you still have to get that into play before they play their license withdrawal.
But that's easy with all the rush. You just play.
That's fair. That's
the 3
fair.
cost, and then afterwards the 1 cost, and you're having rushed. So it's perfect.
Yeah. But it's just license withdrawal it's just so strong and so versatile. It's one option away from those signet spells, and hits literally every. I mean, the most common status in the game, which is boosted, just gone. You know. And it's such a strong card, and not only and you know that players know it's strong because since it's been in play, it has been the most slotted Ortis card flat out since it was just altogether.
We're talking Baba Yaga, right?
No, we're talking license withdrawal.
No, so you're talking license withdrawal. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Since its release, it has been the most used Ortis card.
Yeah.
Not even teamwork training has seen as much use, and that's the other one, you know.
Yeah, teamwork training is amazing in and of itself, but the fact that it can target both your permanents and your characters is just gives you so much versatility.
Make it choose one of the make it be one or the other, and that be it, or make that hand cost, or make that mana cost go way up. That's all I have to say.
All right. So license withdrawal is an area we still think that there is potential for, at least be on the watch list, right? What about you, Marc?
I know I'm not popular, but Dr. Frankenstein, I hate that card so much. It's
really?
always a 2 mana 4/4 that's resupplying, or that is sabotaging, or that's creating another bug. I hate it in my bones. And now they got things like arrow draw. Arrow, I don't know what any else, and I'm like, oh no, the Frankenstein is gonna haunt me again in my dreams every night.
Yeah, is it just because of Trace though? Because really, most of the other characters don't have that benefit. I guess you can if you're playing Subash, but who plays Subash? But is it just because of that? You can get it so quickly into your reserve without having to pay its from hand cost.
Well, for me, it's also the arrow trigger, right? Because it's the permanent arrow trigger. It's so cost efficient. Because if I'm playing against Trace and I'm like, okay, they don't have a lot of things in the reserve or in hand, they're just tapping the hero power, getting that thing into reserve, tapping that the Bastion, get the thing in. It's like 2 mana 4/4, and they can resupply. They can use maybe another Keelan Cylinder to get another boost. And oh man. I really hate that card, but if it's powerful enough to get nerfed, probably I don't think so. But
yeah, I don't think it's powerful enough to get nerfed. I think there's a few hoops you have to go through, but under the current Trace build, and I'm assuming you're basically talking about Trace, you have your permanents there. You've got the arrow effects. You can either get the boost at the moment, get the boost to draw a card are the 2 main ones, or sabotage.
Yeah.
Right, that's the other one alternative.
Like the delete your 2-drop, send to reserve 2-drop. Oh man, no.
Yeah. There's a lot. I could see this is really painful for you. What about you, Nick?
Yes.
What do you think they missed? That you think
apparently they missed dropping off my
list?
new washer and dryer. They forgot to text me. So, whoops, that's what they missed.
Oh no!
Not that Equinox.
You can come over if you need some help, man. Just come over to the house and if you need to get your laundry done.
Here's what I will say. I feel like this. Okay, just going back to everything in general.
do you want to just take off the video so we can make our pictures be bigger since we've finished the discussion on this?
Oh
That'd
yeah,
be
since
great.
we're all
there
so
we
hot.
Go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me put it this way. It's the responses that Equinox has to the cards themselves, to the gameplay, to the cards, to the overall state of the game is fine. That is, they're doing a good job in terms of that. Overall, you can't make everybody happy. There's no point in trying to make everybody happy, so don't try, right? Well, not don't try, but don't try to. If 90% of your player base is happy and the other 10% is like, shaking their fists, pitchforks in the air, I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
My issue is how they've been dealing with the people side of the game. I feel, and Chili and I have had this conversation where I feel like there are certain cases where people are at fault for certain things and they're just kind of sweeping it under the rug. So I feel like you have to address both sides. Like, you have to address the gameplay, but you also have to address the people who are making it difficult for the game to progress in a meaningful way, right? For example,
so you're talking here tournament legality, really making sure that the rules by which we're meant to play by are abided by everyone, and anyone that breaches it comes down pretty hard.
I wouldn't say
that
like
what you
pretty
mean?
hard, but like at least acknowledging that somebody did something wrong. Like, because in this case, with the whole jellyfish thing, this whole jellyfish thing has people up in arms. Like with, somebody was like, they've been selling uniques for like, an hour, 2 hour before, that announcement went live. Something has to happen.
You mean buying? Or they were buying.
Yeah.
It's not the people that are selling them.
Or, right, yeah,
those that are buying.
Something has to happen there. With people that are breaking rules, then you see it happening, something has to happen. So I feel like in terms of the game itself, they're doing a great job. In terms of the actual people management, I feel like they could do a lot better. Not management per se, but like the people element.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
We've gone through a lot, Nick. That's a heavy topic, Nick. If those that have heard me, I love the competitive side of this game. I love the competitive side.
Yeah,
of
I do.
Life. But
even though I'm bad at it,
I do believe it's only good if you enforce it. And if you're not enforcing it, then what are the rules? There's no rule. And then you cannot get mad if someone does it. But for players that are experiencing someone doing something slightly off center, it's so sour that many people can leave the game. And that's not what we want. We want that everything to be as fair. We haven't gone into, there's so much that Equinox has announced recently. The announcement of the changes in distribution. In my mind, most of it is good, but there is still fear. There's fear in me, and I'm avid supporter of this game, and there's fear of where the future goes. But I also say they're betting on themselves in a way that you wouldn't do if you didn't actually feel you could. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I don't want to deny people's feelings on that side as well.
No, I 100%
I am
agree.
looking now. As we are closing up, our goal is to do this. Maybe we can just have the reaction show. I think this has been much more interactive. Nick, fantastic job on making this live. So hats off to Nick and his. Who's the hat today? Oh, he's wearing Chili.
It's Chili.
So he's representing me. I appreciate that.
How dare you? This is my wife. Not like this is my wife, but this represents my wife. My wife and I are Chili and Bandit. I am Bandit. I have that dog in me.
Oh, there you go. So. That does a good show. But as we go, Kyle, is there anything that you wanted to say to either plug some of your things or what you are working on in the coming weeks?
Please go visit the blog. I mean, as you mentioned, there have been a lot of announcements lately, and I've had my hands full. Is what I'll say. For the last, we've had a post every single day. For a while.
Yeah.
And just a plug on that one. Read the article that the team has done on what Lokinox said after the announcement, because it gives a lot more insight in terms of what the stores are going to be doing and the impact it has on gameplay in-person gameplay, but also for us as players.
Hold, please.
One other thing to plug just for myself, I guess. Send me your Savash decks. I want to I want to learn how to play this hero. I want to make this happen. It's gonna work. It's gonna work this time.
Yeah. Reach out to Seipe as well. So he's from
Nadir.
Peru,
Nadir.
CEIPE.
Nadir.
He's also got a
Okay.
really good deck.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
Nadir's
Marc.
going to be so good.
Anything that you want to plug, including what you and I are doing?
Yeah, we are doing the battle of the new set.
The best.
So I'm taking up Axiom Raffles and Lyra, and I'm very busy already getting the decks ready and complete. So only have to buy boxes to get the actual cards now. So yeah, and other than that, I'm just looking into the new decks, the new cards, and yeah, for that in the upcoming weeks for the channel and for the blog as well.
You know, one thing we've got to do is see if we can get ourselves into a Misubi one year, because they apparently get every card as a playset for a year.
As a playset.
So hey, fingers crossed.
Man.
As a playset. I don't know if that's what they're going to keep giving, but that's what they got for the third set. But we'll see.
And as for us, Chili,
What
we're
about
at A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. You can find us here on YouTube if you've been watching live. You can find us at youtube.com/guide to Asgartha. Not only that, we're also planning a lot of fun stuff. We might be doing a Patreon so that you might be able to get early access to stuff that we do. We have recently started a new segment called History of Asgartha, where you can listen to us talk about the timeline of Asgartha, where we go through the actual timeline that Yoshi has set as doctrine and truth in the it's not AlteredTCG.blog. It's the actual altered.com. So and then we're also going to be going to we're also going to be doing the set thing, the set lore, like the set story stuff. So that's also going to be part of a history of Asgartha, where we talk about like what happened in Beyond the Gates, what happened in Trials by Frost, that kind of stuff. So Hero's Guide when don't ask questions I don't know the answer to yet. We're trying to figure that part out. But in case you haven't noticed, logistics is not my strong suit, apparently. So
yeah, we do a lot of stuff. The other thing we have got going is the tournament, the Rapid Fire tournament on Thursday.
Oh, that's true.
Join us. That is just 3 rounds. The reason we got that started was to make sure to give people a chance to get adventure passes for those that don't have locals in them. We keep it just to 32 people, but it is open every week. Join it. You'll get an adventure pass, and the top 4, so that everyone that's undefeated for 3 rounds, 1 hour, really easy.
Yeah,
you do get a pass. You get a pack from the promo packs that we give away. Thank you to Game Haven Sandy for those.
Yeah, so
that's good job, Nick. That was a good little script.
Sorry, what, Marc?
Right, with the devastating defeat of Elweeby. Oh man, so sad.
Oh dude, yeah, that was wild. Elweeby got his butt kicked. Oh,
yeah,
that was.
But
fun.
your friend, is it your friend or is it Pandy's friend that plays Gul'Rai?
Overloss.
Fantastic deck. Overloss is fantastic.
Deck is really good.
Yeah. Is that yours or is it Pandy's friend? Oh, he's German. Pandy's friend. So that's where I was probably thinking the link yesterday. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. But most of the players that we have and the community are amazing. We do need to say goodbye. We have gone over time. We thank Marc and Kyle, especially Marc for dialing in so late in the day on date night, and Kyle for taking some time off work to join Nick and I. I look forward to this. I think this is a better format than what we did last time. This would be something that I'd continue.
Yeah,
thoughts?
Definitely. Okay. So Kyle, Marc, you're both very handsome and attractive men. Chili, you're looking good for your age, and I am the dumpster fire that I always am. So with that, we will absolutely see you on the next one.
See y'all later.
Hasta luego.
All right, bye guys.